Hey, what's going on YouTube? I got a kind of a double review for you guys. It's going to be of this knife right here, which is the Benchmade Griptilian 556. But obviously you can see that there's an addition to this knife, which is these Kevin Wilkins grips that he makes. If you're new to the knife community and never seen these, this is a grip that Kevin Wilkins makes out of Germany. He's an expat who's living out in Germany right now, and he makes these special grips. You know, one of his trademarks is this dimpling in this G10. And if you're familiar with the Griptilian, which I'll talk about, the normal Griptilian comes with an FRN handle with a textured handle. It's FRN is basically plastic, fiberglass reinforced nylon, and it's rounded. It's got kind of this bulbous butt, and I really the Griptilian in it by itself, I really dislike that knife. I mean, it's comfortable enough and it fits the hand fine, but overall aesthetics of the knife, with this drop point plus the bulbous kind of handle, I think is really, really ugly. One of the popular combinations is the Doug Ritter Griptilian, which is the 552 and the 557, I believe. That's a special order that you can get from KnifeWorks, and it's actually relatively cheap in comparison to the price of the Benchmade Griptilian. And not only that, but it's got a wider, a higher blade. It's kind of a rounded and higher blade, and it's also made out of S30V, and it's stone washed. So that might be a knife that I end up getting to add on to the Wilkins grips. The Griptilian, if you know about it, you can kind of see, hopefully in here a little bit, you can see the nested liners, and that's how it sits within the FRN handles. So Kevin Wilkins, he mills it out of these G10, and he mills out the liner of the Griptilian perfectly, so that you can take off the grips of the Griptilian, in this case the mini Griptilian, and then he includes all the screws and everything that you need, and then you use the pocket clip, the existing pocket clip on the Griptilian. That ships in the package, and you just unscrew everything and put it onto the Griptilian. So whether it's the regular Griptilian or the Doug Ritter, and then people say it really makes this kind of this knife standard of the Griptilian into kind of a customish feeling knife. And honestly, I can't agree more. This G10 grip, this is the smooth one. He has different textured ones, whether it's a rough G10 or a semi rough G10 or whatnot. It fits perfectly. It fits the knife perfectly. The shape of whether it's this one or the Doug Ritter version, it totally makes it into a new knife. It's so much more comfortable. It's so much more pleasing to the eye. This one's got the black G10, obviously, with this is called the swimming pool green backspacer. So he makes them in all different kinds. He even makes a titanium grip, which is very expensive, somewhere around like 250 to 270 maybe, just for the grips alone. So it is an expensive process and product to get. You could either order it directly from Kevin Wilkins, or these show up every once in a while on the secondary market. So I believe I traded this one for one of my knives. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but I'm really glad to have this in my collection. I used to have a large one that I bought off some guy with the forums, but the strips were screwed, so I returned it back to him. But this knife takes advantage of some of the trademark Benchmade things, like the axis lock, especially, obviously the blade, but these grips make it completely, I mean, it's still perfect. It's perfectly centered in here. Deployment super smooth, super fast. No blade play in this one at all. I tightened it down enough where it got rid of any blade play. It's perfectly centered, and I Loctited it, so It's not going anywhere, but it's not quite as loose as I'd hope for it to be. But that's okay. I mean, opening is quick. Closing, usually you can kind of snap it down, but this one you kind of have to just help it out here. Size-wise, it's, for a Griptilian, it's going to be the same. This blade is 2.91 inches. Blade stock is 0.1 inches, which is tiny. It's really thin when you compare it against these other blades. Overall length with the Wilkins grip is, I think, going to be slightly longer than the overall advertised, which is 6.78 inches. So you can see it's quite a bit smaller than the Sebenza. If I line it up from butt to butt, it's about an inch and maybe inch and a half shorter than the Sebenza. The TSF Beast, it's it's smaller than the Beast as well, maybe by a quarter of an inch, maybe not that much. The Beast is a 3-inch blade, so maybe about an eighth of an inch. And then Hinder, this is XM24, so how do you compare that? Obviously this is a beast of a knife, much bigger than the Griptilian. And then the paramilitary here, obviously again is slightly bigger, or much bigger actually, than the Griptilian, mini Griptilian in this case. But overall, I just wanted to kind of show off this knife. I really love these grips. They really make a ordinary knife something pretty great and very comfortable. The dimples just add so much to the aesthetics of the knife. You get the axis lock, which some people love it, some people hate it. I really enjoy it. It's a fun lock to use, and I don't know about the strength of it. It seems like it's pretty strong. The Omega springs inside, if I'm just talking about the Griptilian or Benchmade axis lock in general, when you take it apart, it's pretty. I mean, they're pretty flimsy. They're really fragile. They're thinner than a paperclip, so you don't get that much spring in it. But I don't know how much you really need. That's not going to determine what the strength of the lock is. It's just going to determine if the lock works, if it keeps it in place and all that kind of stuff. Everything else pretty much is standard. With the Wilkins grip, you do get more solid fastening screws here. Larger torque screws than the standard Griptilian. Unfortunately, I don't have the original grips when I traded this. So again, I just used the standard Benchmade clip. This is the split arrow clip here. The jimping sits outside of the grips, and the spacer kind of stands out here. Kevin Wilkins also, he offers the larger grips for the large Griptilian, and his second generation version of the large one has an aluminum spacer in it with jimping around, and then it's got a little hole here for the lanyard, a larger hole that you can make use of the lanyard. This lanyard hole is pretty small. You can't really fit anything in there, and on the knife, I'm looking inside at the liners. I'm not sure if the lanyard hole, I believe it just goes through the G10. So in here, the spacer, and through here, the liner of the Griptilian, I think, kind of stops around here, around the pocket clip, and doesn't interfere with that at all. So overall, impressions of the Griptilian by itself, I would say it sucks. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10, especially in terms of value and all that kind of stuff. I'd much rather have a paramilitary. But when you add on the Wilkins grip, it just totally adds to the knife, and it transforms into an amazing knife, actually. So this is a great fun, great EDC knife for sure. And it's very enjoyable to carry. So anyway, so that's quick impressions of the Wilkins Griptilian. I'm probably going to get the Doug Ritter down the road to add to this knife, and I think it's going to change it even more. But I do kind of like this drop point look of this blade with this grip, with the original Griptilian bulbous butt looking FRN. Then I wouldn't like it, but with this combination, it's pretty sweet. All right, so that's my impressions. Let me know what you guys think. You guys take care. Bye.